Hey guys, this is to just give you a little more of an idea of what goes on here at Davey Sports Performance. What would it feel like? Some common questions answered, and what would I expect? What might this be? Who is this for? Just to answer some questions and give you some more detailed information. When you have 60 kids all working out in the same weight room, it's a challenge. It's a challenge for anybody. It would be a challenge for me if I had attempted to do that. And I don't think anybody is reaching their potential with that type of attention. And it's a really important age as they develop to give a kid the opportunity to succeed where they're at. And everyone has different strengths and weaknesses. Everyone's got different body types in their composition. It's more challenging for people to reach their potential in every aspect, right? So some things you're far behind, some things you're way ahead. But if it's 60 kids, everyone's moving with the trend line. The reason that I keep my programs at a 4-to-1 ratio is so I can give the right amount of attention where it needs to be. One of the biggest things I can give to an athlete is attention and uniqueness in their program. Everybody's different and they need to be treated uniquely. And with that, we've seen some excellent results. What we do in here needs to transfer. It needs to apply to what the athlete needs out there. Training the same way for every sport isn't going to elicit the best result for each sport. So we make sure that it's applying, it's transferring, it's moving beyond the gym. Same thing for football. We're going to need some different stuff. They're going to need to know how to change directions and stop and move quickly side to side, more so than you would in track. Basketball, they need to know how to move vertically. So basically, everything we do needs to actually give the result that you were looking for when you wanted training. If I train everybody the same, if I train everybody to just get stronger, to have a strong squat, bench, and deadlift, well, they might be strong in those three movements, but strong powerlifters don't necessarily make fast athletes. And so we make sure we have programs that are really appropriate to each athlete and they fit. We train differently because we focus on the eccentric. And what that means is the lengthening portion of a muscle movement. Think of a rubber ball versus a water balloon, right? One of them is strong eccentrically. It can take in force really easily and efficiently, and so then therefore it re-exerts force. And one of them does not, right? And so the rubber ball, you throw it down and it bounces almost as high or higher than your hand started, where a water balloon just kind of dissipates the energy. And that's kind of what's happening in your muscles and in your tendons. If we don't take in the force in the eccentric while it's loading, the energy goes somewhere and we lose that. So that's one of the things I really focus on to teach athletes how to become faster, is we got to take in the right amounts of force that are happening on the field and in a safe manner. That's going to reduce injuries. I don't start with any information. I got to learn, where are you at? What do you know? What don't you know? So we can improve upon that. So I start with a blank piece of paper, and so let's see where you're at, see what you want, and let's make a program together. Day one would be a lot of me explaining and trying to understand how your body works, using different styles of jumping, different exercises, different movements to kind of see how your body responds with itself and how it reacts to different stressors, and just learning how you display force. And then we set kind of the plan together. So if somebody is weak in a certain area, I'll talk about why that might be and what we will do to solve that problem and what they might expect from that problem being solved, and how long that might take. We do get into some strength tests to kind of figure out where are we starting from to give us appropriate numbers so we can use those and train each athlete individually. What we see in athletes is the coolest thing. A track athlete who maybe the year before had just kind of nagging injuries, issues throughout different sports and different seasons, and so didn't really see the progress he was looking for. And no season is fun when you're hurt, and I know that firsthand. Because we work on force absorption and taking in forces, there wasn't the stress on the body like there was normally because it was able to handle that and absorb forces properly. But with that, we saw lots of improvements, personal records for that person, state qualifier, had a high jumper who started when he was pretty good with me. 6'4", 6 feet 4 inches is a very respectable jump for a high jumper, but he wanted to get a little bit better, maybe a lot better. Instead of doing what I would normally do with maybe a general athlete, I was like, let's focus on high jump skills. What's gonna make you better as a high jumper? And that's very different than a sprinter. It's very different than a basketball player who wants to jump high. It's very different than those things. So we used that, and from 6'4" over time, went to 6'10", which is an extremely good jump. Everyone's potential is different, but I think we really were able to really get really close to his given potential. And it's an exciting thing for an athlete, kind of having their expectations exceeded. I love the texts and the chats I have with them. Like, wow, I really had no idea what was possible. I really appreciate all the time you spent with me to help me with my high jumping this year. It means a lot to me. That's why I do what I do. So I appreciate you listening and watching. Hope that you learned something and that we can work together to make a program with your name on it.